You're watching In the Cool of the Day. I'm your host, Tia Young. Our special guest today is Ms. Nataly Hall, founder and chief executive officer of Color You Pretty, LLC. Hello, Nataly. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing just wonderful, and your makeup is simply gorgeous.
Oh,
I'm jealous.
Thank you. No, don't be jealous. You have my number.
Well, Nataly, tell me, how did you come up with the name Color You Pretty?
Well, it's as simple as this. When I was a young girl, let me first start there. I've always loved makeup. I've always been a girly girl. But it wasn't until I was about 11 years old when I attended John Casablanca Modeling School here in Virginia.
Okay.
And in there, I learned all types of everything from fashion to beauty to just different things. But as an 11-year-old, my eyes were like, wow. My world was just
it's like a
open.
candy store.
But yes. So it wasn't until as I got older, after leaving John Casablanca, I just started perfecting the craft and my skills. And people would stop me on the street and say, well, who does your makeup? And I would say, well, I do it myself. You should do it professionally. So I said, well, okay, fine. It wasn't until people just kept instilling that into me. A couple years ago, I decided to go professional and found my own business, Color You Pretty.
Wow, that's fantastic. So when you went to college, did you pursue in that area, or I bet you went and majored in something totally different?
Something totally different. I mean, as you're young, you try to, you do figure out, what do I want to major in when I am in college? And I have changed majors so many times, but I finally settled on mass communications.
Right. Okay.
And but that had nothing to do with makeup. But
right. Exactly.
Makeup was up to the side.
Well, I was on your website, and the thing that really resonated with me is that you're able to do all nationalities and ethnicities, and I started thinking about myself well, I'm going to say 30 years ago, but it probably was more like 50 years ago.
It was yesterday.
And as a young girl trying makeup, and you couldn't find anything. I mean, most of the makeup was geared for white women. And of course, we black women were still using that, and we would come out with chalky white faces and gray faces and white lipstick, and we put a little slicker on it, and keep it moving. So it's really great to know that today women of color, just all women, are included in this makeup thing, and that somebody can come to you, they can be white or of any ethnicity, and you're able to help them out. How did you feel about that? Was that difficult at any point? Because you're so young, you probably never had that experience of finding that right color.
Well, I've had a hard time finding the right foundation, because every skin tone is different. Every skin tone is unique. I may have someone standing beside me, and to the naked eye, our skin tones may look exactly alike, but there may be that one speck of color. I might have more gold. She might have more red. So it's still hard, but the great thing about today is when you go into various stores, whether it's a department store or a drugstore, I have found that most brands, if not all brands out there, are catering to all ethnicities and women of color. So it is, in fact, easier to find or have more options for women who have a little more pigment in their skin. There's actually different brands out there that are geared only for women of color. Black Opal, Fashion Fair, Black Radiance. The higher end brands like MAC, for example, they do have a wide range of colors for women of color. So I would say it was maybe harder in the past to find that right color, but I will say now it's definitely a little bit easier.
Right. Well, you mentioned something, and it also made me go back to, now I'm going back 100 years ago.
At least 20. No.
About you said pigments, and I remember someone didn't use that word, but they told me that I had yellow undertones. And I didn't know, is that the same as pigments? And I was saying, well, I look to be the same color as the girlfriend that I was with. And they said, no, you both are nice and chocolate, but you've got yellow undertones, and she's got red undertones, and I was like, ugh.
Yes, that goes back to the same scenario I just gave, that, you know, it could be another person standing beside me, but to, like I said, to the naked eye, we look alike.
Right.
Visually, our skin tones may look exactly alike, but in reality, I may have a little bit more gold undertone.
So you're going to need a different
So I'm going to need
shade.
something a little, like, if you have a gold undertone, you are considered cool. Okay. And if you have a red undertone, you're considered warm. So I would say if you have a warm undertone, or if another person has told you that you have a warm undertone, then look for something has a little more red, or for, you know, something that's gold, something a little more yellow. So.
Now, Nataly, you have worked with numerous photographers and many different clients. Can you tell us about, I'm just curious, can you tell us about some of those photographers and clients?
Oh, yes. I've worked with a lot of people in the DC metro area, in Baltimore, and in New York.
Wow.
But the main, we call them gigs, that stand out. I have worked with Fox 5 News personality Sean Yancey for Dress for Success DC, and that was a totally rewarding experience. I led a workshop on how to look appropriate in the office, office appropriate looks, hair and makeup, like the do's and don'ts. I've worked with celebrity stylist Paul Wharton for Beautiful You, and I've also worked on a show called America's Salute to Our Veterans for PBS.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Okay, I've been busy. Those are some of the main things that stand out. Of course, I've done other things, but.
Right. Yeah. And of course, you're a freelance artist. And so what have you done in that genre?
Everything.
Really? Tell us about some of the things.
I've done DC Fashion Week.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah, it's big. It's big. A lot of people don't know that DC has a fashion week, but we do. Countless weddings, proms, different media events, promotions, just various functions. So I've been busy.
How can people get in contact with you?
Well, via my website at www.colouryoupretty.com, or email at info@colouryoupretty.com, or my phone number at 1-800-431-8391.
Right, well, I have two really good questions that have always plagued me a little bit. The first one is that a lot of women think that all you have to do is find the right, you know, color shade for the foundation in your eyes and your lips, and they never think about the skin, preparing the skin before you even put the makeup on.
Right.
Is that important, or is that just me thinking that you need to have a clean face?
You want to make sure your skin is prepped properly, and you want to make sure that your pores are clean, because, you know, makeup can get in there if you especially have
to clog it up.
Right. Yeah. So I definitely suggest and recommend to every person, every woman out there, men too these days, to make sure you have a clean face.
Right. So that is very, very important.
Very, very important.
And then what about Color You Pretty makeup application? Is that, I mean, what does that involve?
Well, a typical Color You Pretty makeup application just typically consists of foundation, primer if needed.
A primer, what does that mean?
Well, primer.
I don't think I'm doing that.
You know, that's an extra step for some, but some people live by the primer. Okay. Primer is just something that you put on your skin, and it helps mattify, if you will. And once you put your foundation on, it's supposed to help make your makeup last a little bit longer. Okay. Does it have anything to do with making your looks maybe smoother, or? Well, for some people, well, depending on the line, depending on the primer, it's supposed to help eliminate or smooth out wrinkles and smooth over the pores to give just a more finished look, a more smooth look. Right.
The other question I'd like to ask you, Nataly, is in the last, I'd say, 6 months, I have come across at least 8 women from the ages of about 18 to 30 who are seeking careers in makeup artistry. And this was something you never ever heard about before. So I don't know if there's a trend or a fad or something that has happened, say, in the last year that's moving women that way. And if, you know, can you talk to us a little bit about that? And I mean, can you go to college to learn this, or are there special schools that do this?
I think part of that comes from the media. What we
okay.
see on TV. We see a lot of these makeover shows.
Right.
We see a lot of
That's
America's
right.
Next Top Model. And I think young women who are watching that, they are getting intrigued with the world of beauty. I know I did when I was 11. So I guess for someone coming up, I for the most part self-taught myself. But there are schools out there.
Right.
I did attend Graham Webb Academy just to get my certification.
Right.
There is another school in DC. So I would suggest to people to do their research if that's the route they want to go.
Right.
But to any budding makeup artist, I will tell them, always stay on trends, on what's current in the industry. Never give up. And have a tough skin. Because
this is a serious business.
It's a serious business.
In talking to some of the ladies, it was almost like, they weren't really taking it serious. They just thought they could do this and that. It's serious, I think.
I have learned that you have to have a tough skin because there are so many people who who may not be happy with what you've done. I mean, that just comes with the territory. Yeah. So you have to learn to take it with a grain of salt and move on. But of course, you got to make your client happy at the same time. But just keep in mind that there are people out there who, may be a little critical, but just have a tough skin.
Right. And you've set yourself up as an LLC, which is a serious form of business.
Yes.
You've taken it seriously. So
I
want to let these young ladies know that, this is a honorable career. It's glamorous, but it has a very serious side to it.
It does. And you want people to take you seriously. Like, everywhere I go, I have makeup on. And some
Even
people,
to the store.
Into the gym.
Oh, okay.
Some people are like, why do you have on makeup? But my face is my business.
Yeah.
And even in wearing makeup to the gym, I hate to admit it, even the workers there, can you have can you have a seminar here just because of how I came?
Well, Natalie, we're going to take a short station break. So don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with Nataly Hall, founder of Color You Pretty, LLC.
Stay tuned to In the Cool of the Day, where a sweet breeze is always flowing.
Thank you for watching In the Cool of the Day. I'm your host, Tia Young, with our special guest, Nataly Hall, founder and CEO of Color You Pretty, LLC. Nataly, we have 6 gorgeous photos here, and I'm anxious to know about each and every one of them. I think we have time to go through them.
Okay.
And the one that sticks out right out is this fierce woman, Nataly 4. Can you tell us about this woman? And I love that hair. What is that, gold?
It's like a gold
blonde?
platinum blonde.
Yeah, tell us about this look.
Well, this look was from DC Fashion Week. I wanted to keep her neutral, but at the same time, I wanted to have her stand out a little bit, only because they're changing different clothes and different designers. So you wanted to have the makeup go with every look.
Right.
So I added lashes. I kept the lips as neutral as possible, but still wanted to show a little something. And I kept her eyeshadow neutral, but yet it's still a little pop of color.
Right. Well, she's
like
fierce
a light gray
and very intriguing. I like that. Okay, the next one is, I think we call her Sandra.
Yes.
Tell us about Miss Sandra there. I don't know if that's a real name or if
no, that's actually her name.
That's actually her name. So tell us about Miss Sandra there.
This is actually one of my favorite looks. This particular photographer, Daryl Brown, the report that we had, I could pretty much do whatever I wanted. So
I like that.
Me too. And he always trusted my judgment.
Yeah.
So with this particular look, we wanted to do something retro, something 40s, 50s inspired. So we gave her the exaggerated red lip, which in the 40s and 50s, they always added a little bit more liner.
Okay.
And of course, her lips are always red. We added lashes to make the eyes pop. We added a little bit of white. Well, added a little bit of white eyeliner and a little bit of blue shadow just to make her eyes pop, and kept the cheeks
It's very beautiful. It is.
Thank you.
Now next we have beautiful Terry.
Yes.
I like her. Tell me about Terry here.
Terry's from the Paul Wharton Beautiful You photo shoot. Okay. Again, another one who wanted a retro look, so we gave her a red lip. I keep saying we, me, a red lip. And for her skin tone, I thought gold bronze tones for her eyes would have just been beautiful in her skin tone.
Yeah, it's just beautiful skin.
But yet natural at the same time.
Yeah.
So we added that for her eyeshadow and lashes. And kept her cheeks as natural as possible.
Yeah, her skin is just like
she had great skin. Yeah. Oh yes, it was so smooth, and she was just great to work with.
Wow. Well, do you start off with cleansing the skin and putting the makeup on, or do they come partially ready?
Depending on time and the type of photo shoot that we're doing, I always ask clients to come with a clean face.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But if not, I will cleanse and prep the face prior.
Get
I'll get them ready.
Right. And then here we have Miss Kyra. Here at the top, let's see tell us about Miss Kyra.
Miss Kyra, well, I call this my baby doll look because everything is pink, and I have on turquoise today, but pink is my favorite color.
Is that your color?
That's my color. So I wanted to do something different. I wanted to make her look like a doll, so we did pink lips, pink eyeshadow. We exaggerated her eyeliner a little bit, and kept her cheeks light. It was light pink on the cheeks.
So it's all about pink, folks.
All about pink. A pink baby. Pink baby doll.
And then our next model, wow, talk about mysterious.
Oh, yes.
Whoa, look at this one. Tell me about that look and all that color.
Well, again, this particular shoot, I had free reign to do whatever I wanted. And I wanted to do something different with her. So I wanted to do something kind of extreme. I call it the alien, the outer world look.
Yeah, that's a good name. That's a good title for that. Yeah.
So what I did, I just kept everything blank as far as her foundation. Nothing on the lips, no color, but everything. All the emphasis is on the eyes.
Right.
And that's why you see all the colors, the reds and the yellows and the greens, and I just wanted her eyes to really pop.
And her skin is flawless.
Flawless.
Wow, like a peach.
Right.
And then this lady, is this Jen? Miss Jen?
Yes.
Okay.
This is my warrior look.
Okay.
And I wanted something I was going through some type of warrior phase, I don't know. But for this particular look, I wanted a warrior / Native American inspired kind of look. And so I just added color to her cheeks, kept the foundation clean, nothing on the lips, but just the emphasis is really on the colors on the cheeks.
Right.
And the
nose. Right in the nose. Yeah. Well, they all are very beautiful. I mean, I'm really impressed. I mean, I'm really impressed. This is really nice. As a spinoff to Color You Pretty, you have something called Pretty on a Budget.
Yes.
Now that sounds like my kind of talking. Yeah. What does that mean? Tell us about Pretty on a Budget.
Well, Pretty on a Budget basically came from when I was in college. I had no money whatsoever, and I couldn't afford going into Nordstrom's or Macy's. I couldn't afford those higher end brands, so I said, well, I'll go to CVS. I need lipstick. So, but in doing that, I found that most of the drugstore brands are really good.
Really?
And yes, really good. And actually, my makeup today, mostly everything is from the drugstore.
Get out of here. You mean I could stop spending $50 on makeup?
Yes.
Foundation.
Everything I have on today except my foundation is from the drugstore.
Get out of here.
Wow. And my thing is, if it's applied properly, you won't know the difference. And that's where Pretty on the Budget came from.
I think that's the operative, applied properly.
Applied properly.
So everything that you have on, and you look like you've got on shadow and lash. I don't think you don't have lashes on.
No.
You just your real lashes.
But the mascara is from the drugstore.
But the mascara, yeah.
It's L'Oreal.
Wow. That is really, really neat.
Pretty on a budget. I mean, my income is a little bit better now, but still, when I was younger, I didn't have that.
Yeah, why pay $50 for something if you can pay $6.99 for it, or $10 even?
Exactly, and it works just as fine. Works the same.
Where do you see Color You Pretty in the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, in the next 3 to 5 years, I see it more mainstream. I see more celebrity clientele.
Are you going to leave the area?
I'll visit. I have a lot of family here, so yes, I'll be back to visit.
Did you tell your mom that you were thinking about leaving?
Mom, no. Sorry to break the news to you, but no. But I also see a makeup line too.
Oh, okay. Oh, that sounds exciting.
Yes,
that's
excited about that.
That sounds like another show.
It does. It does. You have my number to you.
Okay, I do. Who do you see as some of your sponsors, and why? I mean, how will it benefit you to have certain sponsors? How would you work with them?
Well, for Pretty on the Budget in particular, I see sponsors like Target, Walmart, CVS, companies that cater to the masses. And in the masses, you have a lot of people who are budget conscious, who are a little more economical, like Charm & Charlie's, for example. They have great accessories, but they're inexpensive. So Pretty on the Budget doesn't just stop with makeup. It goes to clothing, accessories, just different things that a lot of people don't know that you can look great on a budget.
So what you're telling me that in addition to looking great on a budget with your makeup, you can do this same thing with clothing.
Yes.
Right here in this area, in the Washington, D.C. area, which is, off the charts sometimes.
Like what I have on today.
Really?
I won't say how much it is, but everything I have on today.
Can you say what it's under? Can you say it's under?
Under 100.
Oh, I was going to say under 300.
Well, on a budget, pretty on a budget.
Okay, so everything under, and that includes the makeup and everything, the shoes?
Well, okay, excluding the makeup. If we're just doing the clothing.
Just the clothing.
Just the clothing.
Just the actual clothing. But that's still really, because you look great.
Oh, thank you.
I think you look really great.
Thank
I love the
you.
colors. What do you want people to know about Nataly Hall and also your business?
Well, I want people to know that I'm a go-getter. But this is my passion. This is what I feel I was put on this earth to do. And what I want people to know about Color You Pretty, I want people to know that it's not just about me putting on makeup or making others over. It's a healing and it's a gift, because when people sit in my chair or they leave my chair, they always say, I didn't know I could look like this. And it's a totally rewarding experience.
So Nataly, are you saying that even in how we look, how we take care of ourselves, that God is in that?
Oh, yes.
Would you talk about that just a little bit? That God is even in our makeup and in how we present ourselves.
Yes. Well, I will say this. God is in you. He's in me.
Yes.
And I want to represent him well. So I want to have not just a beautiful inside, a temple on the inside, but I want to show that outwardly. And in doing that, I'm hoping that when I'm helping these women, that's being instilled in them as well. Because like I said, when they leave my chair, they might come in one way, mad face.
Right.
But then when they leave, it's definitely spiritual, because they leave so different. And they leave saying, I never knew. I had one lady cry.
Oh.
I never knew. She was a cancer patient. She said, I never knew I could look like this.
Oh,
and it just touched me so much.
That's beautiful.
It touched me so much
beautiful.
because you're welcome.
Nataly, how can our people get in contact with you, our viewers? How can they get in contact with you? I know you told us earlier, but tell us again.
Oh, okay. Well, you can contact me via my website at www.coloryupretty.com, email at info@coloryupretty.com, or phone at 1-800-831-4391.
Nataly Hall, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. This has been really fun. Thank
you.
I
had a lot of fun, too.
And I do want to invite you back.
I would love to come back. I would love to.
Well, folks, our time is up. And I want to thank Nataly Hall for sharing her heart and her awesome vision with us. As women, we often let ourselves go in order to make sure that our families have the things that they need. The first thing we let go, and listen, I'm a personal witness to this, is ourselves. We let our hair go, we let our nails go, our weight, our clothes, we just say, oh, it's just too expensive. or the baby needs a new pair of shoes. You know, Nataly has really shown us another way on how we can become beautiful on a small budget. Now tomorrow, I'm going for that manicure and pedicure that I keep putting off. What are you going to do tomorrow for yourselves? Even if it's just taking a 10-minute soaking in a bubble bath. Ladies, let's start taking better care of our personal selves. If you have any questions or comments about this show, please email me at inthecooloftheday2012@gmail.com. If you have questions for Nataly, her information is scrolling on your television screen right now. Thank you for watching In the Cool of the Day. Bye-bye.